Rowan Turner had heard gunshots, screams, and cruelty before, but what echoed through the slave market that afternoon made him stop cold. Laughter, ugly and savage, cut through the choking dust. When he stepped into the square, the crowd parted enough for him to see the horror at the center. 5 Apache women hung upside down from a wooden beam, wrists tied, bodies covered in lash marks and bruises so deep they looked carved into stone. But it wasn't the brutality that froze him. It was the tattoo on the eldest sister's wrist, a thunderbird. The same mark burned into Rowan's skin by a Chiricahua woman who had dragged him from a burning house 5 years ago. A woman he owed his life to. How much? Rowan asked, voice low enough to silence the jeering men around him. The trader smirked. All 5? You could work a lifetime and still fall short. Rowan opened his leather pouch and dumped out every coin he had. Silver clinked against the dirt like breaking chains. Is that enough? He asked. Silence spread through the square like smoke. Moments later, Rowan was leading the 5 women out of Dust Ford. No one spoke. Only the sound of hooves, ragged breaths, and the unforgiving desert wind followed them. By the time they reached Rowan's lonely ranch house, standing alone on the edge of endless sand, the sun had bled into the horizon. He helped them down, untied their ropes, then stepped away. He didn't touch them, didn't force a single command. Inside, he lit a fire, boiled water, set out bandages. This place is safe, he said quietly. Rest. Then he walked outside to give them space, sitting on the porch with his gun across his lap. He stayed awake, listening. He didn't trust fate to leave them alone. Inside, Sahal, the eldest, finally whispered, he saw the Thunderbird mark. That man is not a slaver. Nehima answered bitterly, that mark is why they treat us like demons. Lyria spat. No white man saves us without a reason. Amita laid a gentle hand on her shoulder. But we are alive. Kaya whispered through tears, if we die, who finds our children? Rowan, hearing those words through thin wooden walls, clenched his fists until they whitened. Later, the door creaked open. Sahal stepped out, bruised, exhausted, but carrying the strength of a storm. Why did you save us? She demanded. Because I owe a debt, Rowan said. A Chiricahua woman saved my life. When I saw your mark, I knew what I had to do. Your debt is paid, Nehima said sharply. You don't need to keep us here. I'm not keeping you, Rowan replied. I figured 5 women fresh from torture needed one night without fear. For the first time, Sahal's eyes softened, only slightly. In the morning, Rowan added, if you want to leave, I'll prepare the horses. They said nothing, but they stayed. At dawn, Rowan handed each of them water and bread. They announced they were leaving. Rowan offered them horses. We don't beg, Lyria snapped. You're wounded, not weak, Rowan said. But no one could walk that far. They finally accepted. As they traveled, Rowan noticed they weren't heading toward any village. They were going straight into the most dangerous part of the southern desert. You're not going home? He asked. Sahal stopped. We have no home left. Nehima spoke next, voice hollow. 15 children. Taken 3 days ago. Slavers burned our village. Rowan's chest tightened. Why not ask another tribe for help? They crossed the border, Amita said. If we don't find them in 7 days, they'll vanish. And the 5 of you plan to walk 200 miles to track them? Rowan asked. 15 children, Sahal said. 5 of them ours. Rowan felt something old and buried rising inside him. I'm going with you, he said. Until we find every child. They didn't thank him. But they didn't refuse him either. For 2 days, they followed faint tracks through blistering heat. Amita led them, reading the sand like a book. They found a bone bracelet, a torn blanket, a doll with a missing arm. Every clue carved deeper into the mothers' souls. At night, coyotes howled warnings across the desert. Trouble finally came in the form of 3 bounty hunters. They aimed rifles at the women. "There's a price on their heads," one snarled. Rowan stepped forward. "No one's getting handed over." But Nehima moved faster than words, slashing the leader's throat. Sahal slammed another man's head into the rocks. Lyria shot an arrow clean through the third. That night, Rowan knew this was no longer a rescue. It was a war. On the third night, Rowan stood by the fire, unable to keep his secret any longer. "Sahal," he said, voice thick, "I need to tell you something." All 5 women froze. "I was there," Rowan whispered. "The day your village burned." The air turned to ice. Lyria shot up, Nehima reached for her blade, Kaya trembled with rage, and Sahal stared at him like staring into a grave. Rowan kept going. "When I was young, I rode with mercenaries. I thought we were stopping raiders. But they massacred a tribe. I did nothing. Then I tried to stop them. They beat me, burned me, left me to die." He rolled up his sleeve. The Thunderbird mark gleamed in the firelight. "A Chiricahua woman saved me," he said. "Maybe the mother of one of you." Silence stretched thin as glass. Sahal finally spoke. "You did not die in that fire," she said. "So now you must live to pay for it." Rowan nodded. "Until the children are safe, I am yours." The next morning, they found tracks leading to an old army fort in a narrow canyon. From inside came the unmistakable cries of children. 12 armed guards patrolled the walls. Rowan outlined a plan. Hit from 3 sides. Create chaos. Free the children. No one objected. When the sun dipped, Rowan fired a shot into a liquor barrel. Boom! Chaos erupted inside the fort. The women struck fast, scaling walls, cutting down guards, slicing open locked doors. Rowan drew fire from the front, each shot meant to pay for a sin he could never erase. They found all 15 children. Mothers reunited with their little ones in painful silence. But hoofbeats rolled in like thunder. Rowan's former comrades, the Black Spur, arrived. Cashin Briggs, their scarred leader, smirked. Rowan. Alive, after all. Rowan stepped in front of the children. "Hand them over," Cashin said. "Apache brats pay well." The women drew their weapons instantly. Cashin fired first. Rowan lunged, shoving Sahal aside. The bullet tore through his chest. Sahal screamed, catching him as he fell. Blood poured through her fingers. "You're alive," Rowan whispered. "That's enough." Cashin ordered his men forward. Sahal's eyes filled with fire, not rage, but ancient power. The Thunderbird tattoo on her wrist glowed blue. She pressed her palm to Rowan's wound. A soft light spread outward like a rising spirit. Nehima gasped. Mother's power. The other sisters surged forward with steel and fury. And the final battle began.